SilkCityHotSauce.com. How do you not know about Silk City Hot Sauce at this point? If you're listening to the Sit Down Zumock podcast or any podcast I've been on or I go on, you know about Silk City Hot Sauce. And you also know about Z-Man's Mango Madness, Florida's greatest tropical sauce, the #1 seller at Silk City. They got all kinds of hot sauces. They got Aaron Berg's hot sauce. They got Bob Bickerstaff's hot sauce. Go check them out, but use the promo code ZUMOCK and you get 15% off your order. And the more you order, the cheaper it is. But make sure you pick up Z-Man's Mango's Madness because it's the best hot sauce. Hell, pick up an order right now. Put it on your turkey at Thanksgiving. Put it on anything. I don't give a shit. Tacos, you name it. I use it all the time. In fact, I'm going to have to hit up Jeff Levine because I need another box. The holiday season's coming up. I want to take care of my family. Also, I got some road gigs. I sell out immediately. It's that good. It's all organic. Go check it out. No fillers. Grown from a garden. I'm all about this hot sauce. I got together with Jeff Levine a couple years back, and we specifically designed it together. And it has this nice Miami Vice logo. As soon as I moved to Florida, I wanted to just jump right in. I became Florida's greatest comedian. You all know that. And I wanted to have that Florida vibe. And I'm really proud of the hot sauce. So go check it out. Again, promo code ZUMOCK. Get 15% off your order. Speaking of sponsorship, you want to sponsor the Sit Down Zumock podcast for a very low rate? I'm talking very low. You don't get these rates anywhere else. And the only reason I make them so low is because I want it to be affordable and I want to push your little product. If it's like, if it's in its infancy or if you're running for something, I like the comeback kids. I like the guys who are climbing the mountaintops. Those are the ones I get behind, like Perry Skincare, which is blowing up right now. You can get it all over the Cleveland Clinic. Lisa Stewart, she's a $100 sponsor. Use the promo code CHAD10 to get 10% off your order. And I believe if you order more than something, I don't have the notes in front of me, you get free shipping. Just go check it out, perryskincare.com. But there's people in the $100 tier on Patreon. You don't necessarily have to be on Patreon, but there's people that sign up to the $100 tier just to sponsor, like Vinny Cash. We got Sam Gallagher. We got Emily C. I apologize. But hit me up if you have an agenda. If you're running for something, you got a product that you're trying to push. I will push it better than any other product. Listen, terrestrial radio is dead. It is a dying, archaic form to spend your money. I know in a couple markets it does well, but I'm telling you right now, you're wasting your money if you go to terrestrial radio, and you're definitely not going to get the rates that you're going to get from me, and you're definitely not going to get the push that you'll get from me. So send me a message, and I have to be behind this product. I don't want to. I've turned down 2 people because I wasn't into it. So because I have to have passion when I try to push something. I got to believe in it. I can't fake it. As you know, I'm not really good in show business in Hollywood because it's very phony. A lot of fake bullshit, and I don't have it in me. As I get older and I see all the nonsense going on in this world, I don't have it in me to play the game. So you're getting a real reaction from me. It's coming from a good place. It's coming from a genuine place. And I think that's why my podcast is doing well, is because people are tired of all the bullshit. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of being sheep. And you need some more honesty out there. You need people telling it how it is with no agenda. Listen, whether you like me or not, I'm done trying to be cool. I'm done trying to be liked. You like me or you don't at this point. Okay. I was popular in high school. That's when it's important, when you're young and you're trying to get girls, not when you're in your 40s and you're almost dead. I can give a shit if you like me at this point. In fact, I'm trying to weed out people in my life. I want to weed out all the nonsense and the bullshit that goes along with it. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to be a $100 sponsor and you don't want to sign up to my Patreon in the $100 tier, just send me a message. We can work out something payment wise. We'll figure it out, and tell me what you're all about, what you're trying to push, and let's try to make this thing something. I like grassroots campaigns. I like building something up. I like taking something from nothing and make it into something. I have a history of doing that with radio, sketch, everything. I'm the guy you're going to want to talk to. All right, guys, that was your intro for today. Tyler's on the podcast. We got some topics coming up, and I know some people are asking, where are the guests? Okay, this is what's going on, guys. There's going to be guests on this podcast, but I made a significant turn for the fact that I didn't want to be so guest driven. For years, it's been so guest driven, and it's a lot of work, which is fine. But after the pandemic, people don't necessarily want to get on Zoom, and I also want to make it something where it's not guest dependent. And there will be guests, but I hope you like what Tyler and I are building. It's very grassroots. It's very new. And I just want you guys to get used to what's going on. And I thank you for everybody that sends me a direct message on Patreon or Twitter or whatever. The people that do like it, thank you so much for your support and continued support. And if you don't have cash to sign up for the Patreon, that's okay. You can support it in other areas. You can hit subscribe on the YouTube page. You can leave a 5-star iTunes review or Amazon review on the podcast. There's other ways to help out. If you really believe in the podcast, if it's a part of your Wednesday routine, go check it out. Help a brother out. But let's get to this week's STZ, Sit Down Zumock podcast. Let's do it. All right, STZ. It's the Z-Man coming at you live and direct from Tampa, Florida. South Tampa, baby. Yeah. Florida's greatest, Florida's most wanted. I am here with Tyler. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good. Weather's still holding up here. It seems to be like this in Cincinnati all the time, though. Winters are never that bad. So I don't know when that'll actually happen. Well, it will even snow.
I told you before I moved to Florida and I was coming from LA, I stayed about a month and some change in Cincinnati with my buddy Jeff. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know, like, I was supposed to move to New York. It never worked out because of the pandemic.
Right.
But I remember that winter, it was fine. It was like, I was like, I could live here. There's barely anyone. Yeah.
It's not bad at all. And then you think, if you want to go down to Tennessee or something, that's not a far drive either. And then it's just even warmer. So.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed my time down there. It was just for like a little over a month, but it was fun. I had a good time. So, hey, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. I know I'm getting some feedback. I don't know if you get any feedback because you're not on social media.
No. I mean, I get feedback from my wife all the time, but not about this podcast.
Okay. I get it. But I got an email, and I'm starting this off Chrissy Mayer style where I read an email. Are you familiar with Chrissy Mayer?
No.
Tyler? Good. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. This is from Emily. I don't know if I should give out her last name because she sent it through my website. It says, Chad, I came upon you through Kevin Brennan. Okay, fair enough. And I got to tell you, I like the Sit Down Zumock podcast you're doing with Tyler right now. I love the topics. It's really cool. I just wanted to put this out there because you said you could contact you at any time, Emily. So there it is.
Nice.
Emily, shout out. There you go. That's the thing.
Positive feedback. There's always a little bit of positive feedback for all the negative feedback, right? Mm-hmm. You just got to keep digging.
Got to keep digging. But that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, listen, this is grassroots. This is what it is. I made a conscious decision. I talked to Tyler on the phone because I started this podcast with him. And I wanted to do something different. It's still growing. We're still trying to figure things out as we go. Emily also says if we're going to do a live podcast, I'll send that in a second. So I wanted it not to be guest driven. We're going to have guests. That's going to happen. But I want you guys to get used to what this is and us to find our footing too. And it's going to change. It's going to evolve like all things do. So it's grassroots style. So thank you for your support and continued support. And her last PS was, are we going to do a live podcast? Maybe down the road. Maybe.
It is in the plans. It's just then figuring out for a live podcast. The thing is like all the pre-production shit that goes into it, right? Not like it would be a lot on our end, but like just making sure that things move smoothly enough and figuring out how to make that work software wise. I mean, we know the software needed and all that shit. The biggest thing for me though, which is so fucking stupid, is like to do a live podcast. I think doing that at night probably makes more sense. You can shoot the shit, whatever, you know, people aren't at work. People would be available to watch if you're doing it at night. But I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old that are going to be asleep. And I'd be like in my basement doing this, right? So it would be like a little rough for me, because I would definitely get loud. Like they're asleep right now, but at least I'm outside. But I figure it out.
Yeah, that's going to come in time. And it's just like, also, you know, we talked about sponsors. So it's going to be brick by brick. You know, I know what it is. It's the little engine that could at right now. It's not, you know, it's not a juggernaut. I'm not making $195,000 like Tim Dillon is on Patreon. That's just not happening.
Bitch.
That son of a bitch. But it's just like one of those things. It's something we're going to work. We're being consistent and persistent. But here's,
oh wow,
look
at this.
This is if you're watching on the video right now.
Oh, I remember this one. This one was Maz Jobrani comes. This is episode 2. This is at the map room. 3 cameras set up. We had probably 4 or 5 lights. And look at that fucking sign. We try to duct tape the sign to the brick wall. It just falls on Maz. And then I'm pretty sure later on in this episode, some of the lights go out. Like everything that could have went bad did go bad in this episode.
And Maz Jobrani is like a huge comedian who sells out everywhere. Ryan Dalton, he's from Cleveland. I started with him, and this was 2013, and we were doing HD video, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we were like one of the first to do this.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing this. Like this was before like a lot of people like Tom Segura, Bert, none of them were doing video. We were doing it.
At what point did you give up on sweater vests? Oh
boy. It was that transitional period from 2013 to about 2015. I think that was the biggest transition period since puberty. It was just me trying to figure out my identity to get out of the WMMS bullshit. You know, I wanted to not be recognized anymore. So that's one of the reasons why I quit wearing them. I was like, I don't want to be recognized. I wanted to just be a stranger. And within Northeast Ohio, it was hard to do. So I thought maybe I'll put that past behind me. And now I look back.
Or not. Yeah, they're going to recognize you there.
I don't know. I was in a weird spot. I'm always in a weird spot. This is what I do in life. I fall on my face. I climb back out. I'm a hero. Then I fall back on my face and I climb. I'm like the Johnny Manziel of podcasting. I just.
Yeah. When I fall on my face, it's self-inflicted too.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's almost like I don't want any sort of success. And once I get there, like something inside of me is like, we're going to fuck this up for you.
Let's self-sabotage. Let's fuck this up, man.
Like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Because after I did my Gotham taping, I was like on fire. Like I had my TV taping. I had done another project. I was a regular on Bennington at the time. I was opening for D'Elia, Godfrey, Florentine, Christ. I was working every weekend. I'm like, wow, how can I fuck this up? And I did.
Find a way. I'll find a way. Well, I mean, is that a good segue? You want to talk about fucking things up? Go right into the Astroworld. Bad productions, you know?
Yeah, set this up because I want to hear.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the rapper Travis Scott.
I am now.
I couldn't pick out any of his songs for you. I don't know what his songs are. I just know that he is one of those that is connected to the Kardashian family. Well, I guess Jenner family, but all the same shit.
He's dating Kylie or one of the Jenners.
I think Kylie. They've got a kid. No, I think it's Kylie. The one with the makeup stuff.
He's not dating Caitlyn.
They got a kid. That one went right over me. And they have another kid on the way.
Oh, good.
But yeah. Creating life, right? When you chop down one tree, you got to plant another. So
more Kardashians.
He's got 8 more kids he's going to have to make here. One for every life lost. So they're there doing their show, Travis Scott and I think Drake, and I don't know who else, but I know that those are like the 2 main dudes. And Travis Scott, like, I guess is known for letting his crowds go wild or whatever. And it was just a human stampede. 8 people died. They said that like when shit first started hitting the fan, people giving other people CPR, trying to pull them out, that sort of shit. Like, they said that the Travis Scott continued his show for another 30 minutes before it stopped, which is bizarre.
First of all, okay, this is where I'm weighing in. I wasn't familiar with this Travis Scott fella until Astro Fest or where the fuck it is in Houston. By the way, going on at the same time Skank Fest is. And if you were to ask if 8 people were going to die,
who's going to die more?
I would say Skank Fest, hands down, not Astro Fest.
I mean, I'm same type of drugs are probably floating around all of them, but I don't think there's any human stampedes at Skank Fest.
And second of all, like, who fucking gets who gets barricaded and killed at a Travis Scott? I can understand Rage Against the Machine or Motorhead, but like a SoundCloud rapper, like, really, you're gonna get killed over that? I have no mercy on these people. They deserve to die.
And you know what else though? It's like, fuck this guy for not stopping anything, right? Like, if there was a Rage concert, I guarantee you they would stop the song. They would stop it and go, yo.
There's actual footage of Rage Against the Machine playing in Chicago, I think Lollapalooza, and it got so crazy they stopped the song, and Zach De La Rocha, the lead singer, was just like, guys, listen, I know you're pumped up, but you got to push back. You can't. It's out of control.
Yeah. I saw the same sort of thing that Dave Grohl did at one of his concerts. Like, that's what you got to do sometimes. I mean, you just lost eight tickets to your upcoming show.
Yeah.
You know,
and potentially 8 more, because they're like, they didn't appreciate those 8 people dying.
Right. There you go.
But I'm actually happy that the Travis Scott fans died. And I know that's a very unpopular opinion. And I know people are going to take that the wrong way. They're going to like spin it like, oh, I'm callous, I don't like people. Well, you're right. I'm not a big fan of this guy. I listen to a little of his music. I go, he stinks. And like I said, I can understand if it's like a real like rock concert, but it's a rapper. Like, what are you doing?
Right. It's a rapper.
So do you think he should be charged?
What the fuck do you charge him for? You should charge the venue.
Well, he's inciting violence, maybe, kind of like, because they wanted to charge.
He, though? You know, he's probably not like, I don't know what his lyrics are, but it's probably not like step on people. You know, like, well, I don't know. It's on him for not noticing that shit's awry here.
The reason why I bring that up is, okay, so what about Trump in the January whatever, when they all went to the Capitol? Did he do the same thing? Like, I don't know. Do we charge him? I'm asking questions.
I'd have to go through, and I'd need a transcript of both.
Yeah,
Trump's transcript and Travis Scott. And you know what? Both their name starts with T. I was gonna say lock them up, but my name also starts with T, so I think they should be safe.
I think they should go on tour together.
Ooh,
Trump and
Travis 2024.
And have what's his name open, Travis Scott open for Trump, and they could just run havoc. Just run havoc.
That's the way to do it.
I'm gonna pull up.
If Travis were there on January 6th, they would have found Pelosi.
That's funny. God, this is a great podcast. Let me pull up some of these dumb lyrics. This
there
is
you go.
Metal Creek. I don't know this song. I just randomly pull it up. But let me see if I get so pumped up just reading some of these lyrics. I don't want to like
careful.
Trample someone to death.
Spelling words out that you shouldn't say.
Ooh, yeah. It says, what we gonna do with that boy? What the hell? This guy's fucking good. Was this Stevie Nicks? Fucking, I lost my mind. I've been running since 7:45 on the dirt road, straight out the mo, flip the bird for the N-word fate. This guy's a poet. I mean, this guy, I want to just I just want to run over someone right now. Fuck moms think N-words. What is this?
So yeah.
Strung on dope, N-words thinking I can't shit. You want to know me? I swear to God, I'm reading this. If you're watching the video, you can read along.
If is fuck moms a thing, like fuck boys? Like just like MILFs, I guess.
Maybe
fuck moms.
I'm learning as I go.
Oh, my favorite line is I don't even know what it has to do with anything, but my favorite line is to the squat for the flick.
Let me show your ass a little thing. Every time I walk in this bitch, fresh, feeling my fur.
Wait, I have a new favorite line. Fuck, I cummed on my boxers. Fuck.
Holy shit. Wait, I'm going to jump ahead. It says, right, gonna hit the weed. Oh, God. Gonna head, just cough a little bit, come in her mouth. Couple of kids lost. This guy stinks.
Couple of kids lost. Does it say that? Oh, couple kids lost. Yeah, 8 of them.
Yeah, so he was enticing it with those lyrics.
Yeah.
Fuck, I cummed in my boxers. Fuck, get your ass up, boy. Fuck, they want. Fuck, this guy is retarded. Like, this is what kids are listening to. This is what they like. Dude. I don't want to sound like get off my lawn, old man, but we've come a long way since James Taylor. I'm just gonna say, this is ridiculous.
Hey, I gotta ask you a question, because this is how dumb I am. When I come across this name, like when I read a book to my son, and when that name is on there, like if you scroll back up to that one, it was baby. What's the name? Baby J-A-C.
Wait, hold on.
Go back down to like the coming in my boxers. Yeah, J-A-C-Q. J-A-C-Q-U-E-S. How do you pronounce that?
Jax?
Okay, thank you. Because I don't know either, so I always just say Jack.
Wake the fuck up, baby Jax. Is he talking about his baby? Jacques?
I don't know. If you know, please email.
Yeah, call in.
Let me know, because I always feel like a fucking retard when I come across that.
Well, I mean, this guy's retarded. I mean, he's not even speaking English here. I've read
he
lyrics.
Knows how to say one word that I don't.
How does he make Anthony Kiedis look like he's a fucking genius? Ding dong 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 ding dong ding ding. All right, this guy's hilarious. I'm reading some of his lyrics. This is called Bad Mood. Shit on you.
Shit on you.
Yeah, I have one question. Fuck out of my business. I did these things that most men will ask for forgiveness. Well, at least that rhymed. That was pretty good. Broke the code, the commandments from my descendants. Who gives a fuck? New children in the building. We ride with no limits. Shut the fuck up. Don't you hear me trying to finish? I'm in a bad mood. Rob that dude. Fuck that couch. Oh, was that a homage to Rick James?
I can just imagine, like, what's her name?
That house.
Kylie, like, waking up and like seeing Travis like over like in the den, like with a notepad just writing. She's just like, man, he's hard at work. And then you just like quick cut to his lyrics here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this guy is like, he's like Simon and Garfunkel with these lyrics.
Rob that dude, fuck that couch, burn that house. We the cause of the era. New N-words with new terror.
I mean, he's just recklessly saying the N-word for these dumb white suburban kids are singing along to this nonsense. They all listen. I don't care. They all deserve to die. All of them at this concert. If this is what you're into, get trampled on, because I
can't wait just to shit on you. I can't wait just to shit on you. I can't wait just to shit on you, just to shit on you. I can't wait just to shit on you. But why, Travis? Yeah, I can't wait just to shit on you.
This guy will be
I can't wait just to shit on you.
This guy will be a first ballot
on.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer soon.
There you go.
There's no other rock bands replacing these
Probably
dudes.
went platinum already.
Yeah. Here's another one. Grew up a Lone Star and we'll roll that weed. He's always telling people, oh God, this guy fucking stinks. Let me do one more.
I bet you there's going to be an N-word in it.
I know. Pull out that zip. Pull out that ride. Roll out. We so high. He loves being high.
Popping champagne. Damn you, apple cider.
We so fucking high. Dozing off Xanax.
Do you think that this is like how it is though? Like maybe these songs are fantastic. Like, like have you ever had to do a show where you first have to like they'll read a transcript of your set?
No, I've written fucking raps before. I did the hardcore Hall & Oates, Cleveland Ballin', and our lyrics are way better and coherent. This is just not this gibberish bullshit. And I hate the fact that our society is embracing this. And I hate the fact that this guy could draw more than me. Fuck you.
I don't know. I might go check him out now.
I think I'm going to put this episode out for free. Just so people can get a taste. So you actually, after those lyrics, you want to check them out? You're into them?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I got, because like if that's what people like and they're all flocking to them, at least I know that I can go there and step on some people. You know?
Yeah. I want them to sign up for my Patreon if they're that dumb. So explain what's going on with the Raiders right now.
The Raiders. Yeah, man. So obviously we also, you saw the Gruden emails and that stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot more.
I became a bigger fan of him after that.
I'm sure there's a lot more to it. You know, because it all of that goes back to like Dan Snyder and the Redskins. And who knows if anything will ever come of that. It's like Roger Goodell's trying to protect one of the NFL team owners, right? So Gruden becomes this guy.
It was definitely a hit. That was a hit job.
For sure. You're telling me you're going through thousands and thousands of emails and that's what you came up with was fucking Gruden. Like, but so you have that, right? And he has to quit, or I don't know if he got fired or whatever, however it happened, right? Separate from the team.
Uh-huh.
Now, what was this, 2 weeks ago? Henry Ruggs. This was I think a Tuesday morning, right? So like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., who was a first round pick for the Raiders. And that's the other thing. For the Raiders, they have, what the fuck's his name as their GM? Mayock.
Yeah.
And Mayock is supposed to be this draft guru, right? And his big thing, like, was getting like these players that are like good people off the field, level-headed, this and that, right? So,
but they're the
Ruggs.
Raiders. They're the Raiders. They got to stay on brand.
right. Here's Ruggs driving 157 miles an hour, drunk, and slams into a car in front of him. That car immediately goes up in flames. The woman and her dog in there, they die.
They burn alive. I heard they burned alive.
Yeah. And that's accurate. It sucks to like hear it said that way, but it's accurate. And he survives, but now he's facing, I think, like 47 years in prison.
He was 23 years old. Or the woman was 23 and her dog died. Ruggs, who's already facing 2 felony charges of DUI and reckless driving, has been hit with 2 additional felonies of DUI and reckless driving, as well as a misdemeanor charge of he had a gun too. He had a gun. And
of course he did. It's Las Vegas. You have to be safe.
The added charges were handed down due to the injuries suffered by the front seat passenger and girlfriend, Rudy Washington. If convicted, faces up to 46 years in prison.
Yeah.
Holy balls.
Yeah. And then
they should have HBO Hard Knocks on the Raiders this year.
No shit. Just watch them fall apart.
It's a
because then a week later from this, what happened this week, the other same draft, I believe, also first round pick. They had 2 first round picks. This is the other one. Cornerback Damon Arnett. Raiders released him because he put out like a TikTok or an Instagram threatening to kill someone. And it's pretty funny because, like, if you want to talk about guns, this guy's got guns.
He's got guns?
Lots of guns that he shows like 2 of them, but they're like, is this the video? Oh man, if you can find the video, dude, it's like,
is the video out there?
It is. Yeah. What do you want? Yeah. ESPN probably won't show it, but yeah, he's just like, walking around his house, shows 1 gun. And then like he picks the second gun up and it's like something that like would be on like, Call of Duty. It looks like what the fuck do you have there? Like some modern warfare shit.
I'm gonna try to find it. I want to see this shit. I mean, they are staying like true to the Raiders like stereotype. This is like what you want from the Raiders.
But also like nobody should be that surprised whenever you give a lot of young, athletic
Oh, here we go.
kids millions of dollars and say, hey, live in Las Vegas. like what do you think? Like Manziel lived in Cleveland and he still couldn't keep his shit together. Yeah, look at this. Right?
Holy shit. It's like
right? Look at that fucking gun.
And he put this on TikTok?
Yeah, it's TikTok, right?
That's like some Walking
TikTok.
Dead shit.
What the fuck, dude?
That's like some SEAL Team 6.
He just keeps saying like, oh, you're 5 minutes away. Come through. I will kill you. It's like, why not just send that directly to them? Or just don't do it at all.
You know what's funny is free time is when you're on the road or you're doing, it's a lot of time, and there's a lot of downtime between football players, basketball players. I talked to I was friends with who was the NBA player? He came on the podcast. CJ Miles. Was it CJ Miles? Yeah, he came on the Sit Down Zumock podcast when I was on 87.7, and he was just telling me like he came to the podcast. He's like, man, we got downtime, man. That's why I'm doing your podcast. We got a lot of downtime. And I was just on the road over the weekend in Northport, and I'm in the hotel all day long, and you're bored. Sure. You're just looking for shit to do. Looking
for anything. Yeah.
So these guys, they got millions of dollars, they got no one to answer to. And they're just, I'm not condoning their behavior. In fact, I think it's hilarious. I think the more people, the more NFL players that fuck up, the better. I think it's just fun. It's like you're pissing your career away.
Dude, I mean, again, like Manziel's in Cleveland and still can't keep his shit together. What do you think Manziel would have done if he was playing for the Las Vegas Raiders? He'd be dead.
If you're in a city with shit to do, like Miami, Vegas, like, yeah you're done.
It's crazy. So I just wonder, like, what's next for the Raiders? Because they played like shit this past week.
Well, they had a good excuse. They had a real good excuse. It's a never ending story. You hear all these, these news articles about NFL players have been coming out for years. It's the same story over and over. It's just,
about the like the Henry Ruggs stuff, where he's facing 46 years. One of my buddies, he reminded me, he goes, yeah, don't forget Dante Stallworth, same shit. And 30 days in jail is what he got.
But did he kill somebody?
I believe so.
I don't remember. I remember vaguely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you kill an innocent woman and her dog and they burn alive. I think, I don't know.
And I don't think he was drunk, but Ray Lewis, he got a Super Bowl ring out of that. So, But didn't Ray Lewis, was it somebody in his posse that killed someone? That's what they say. I refuse to believe it. That guy's a fucking kook.
Really? Well, not so fast, Tyler. No, okay.
He's a fucking kook. You ever see him lately? He just goes on these biblical rants. Anyone who's doing that definitely stabbed a man to death.
That's an interesting theory. Okay, well, yeah, if you go on a biblical rant, chances are they murdered someone.
Multiple. I think you could do like 1 or 2 biblical rants in your life.
Yeah. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for people that are watching this for the first time, we don't give a shit if you're offended by this. We're talking shit. If you can't handle it, go watch SpongeBob or whatever, Housewives.
God.
We're allowed to fuck around. We're allowed to say whatever we want. We're allowed to be inappropriate. I'm tired of 2021. I'm tired of all the rules you're making as you go. Oh, we're 2 white males. Go fuck yourself. That's what I say. Now, you sent me this story, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, where I live in Tampa, Florida. I live in South Tampa, which is a very nice location. I live 3 miles from the Bay, 3 miles from Raymond J, 3.1 miles from Tom Brady. I live in the thick of it. Now, you sent me a story that apparently, I didn't realize this, but Afghan refugees are coming to Tampa.
Tampa. Yeah.
What's this all about?
I don't know. I guess that's just where they're headed, and they're looking for apartments.
And I obviously thought of you.
I thought of you.
This is funny. Like, you sent me this news story, and I'm right here in Tampa. I didn't even know about this, but apparently these refugees are all coming and they need apartments, and they're going through all these programs to get apartments. But it says this girl, I can't even pronounce her name, traveled across Tampa last week from the Airbnb where she'd been living with her 5 younger siblings and mother to their new 3-bedroom apartment near University of South Florida. I live 2 miles from the University of South Florida. This is my neighbor.
Like, shouldn't they go to areas that people don't want to live just because there's the space there?
this is a great area too. So they're like living better than a lot of people. So apparently they're all coming in, and I didn't realize this, but it says more than a dozen Afghan families have arrived in Tampa Bay as refugees in the recent weeks. More are expected. Holy shit. As of 58,000 Afghans who arrived in the U.S. since America's chaotic withdrawal to leave military bases.
They say chaotic. I say successful.
Full success. When this was a quote, finding an apartment in Tampa is hard, even if you're local. And I guess rent is skyrocketing now. It's out of hand. Holy shit. So they're fucking it up. I was the first one to move here, and now they're moving here. Everyone's moving here because of me. And they're getting all kinds of financial aid. Fuck that.
They're doing it.
Fuck that. Anyways, yeah, so I guess there's a ton of Afghans here. I'm going to go looking for them on my bike ride today.
That's a weird way to put it.
You think they have like the turbans on, or they try to fit in?
They have to.
Or are they trying to like like when they try to fit in, like with Americans, they're always wearing like out of date shit. Like
they're just pretending they're Cuban.
Yeah, they're wearing like FUBU, like it's in style.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Starter.
I'm from here. I don't know. I'm here on the. Were they on the wheel well when those planes were taking off? You know, all those.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
They're all hanging on for dear life to get the fuck out, and they're dropping out of the sky.
Dude, yeah. So I didn't see any videos of that, but I don't need to, because you could just picture it. Like
it was pretty scary. It was pretty intense.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And those planes were fucking jam packed anyways. I mean, how far of a flight did those things go for? Because they're like, how uncomfortable. I guess it's better than staying there and, dying.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, Tom Cruise couldn't even do that. That was amazing. If they actually landed on the side of that fucking plane, holy shit. Good for you. You earned your spot in America. If you hung out from Afghanistan to America, get that guy a house by all means.
A whole different way of it's like the Freedom Squid Games, right?
Yeah, and then
Freedom Turban Games or something, right? So you make them do all this shit, and if they do it, then they get an apartment in Tampa.
And then immediately sign him to a Mission Impossible film.
Yeah,
they're doing their own stunts. They're Jackie Chan all over. Shout out to the Afghans that came here. They're my neighbors.
I suppose people are short staffed over there too, though, right? In Tampa, they'll find jobs.
Yeah, there's
subways.
There's like and they're highly, from what I read, they're more than willing to work. They want to work.
Of course they are. Of course,
because they're out of that hell.
They do. Yeah.
And they're hiring everywhere. There's like now hiring signs all over the place.
Fucking Americans complaining about like having to work overtime. They're like, I'm just happy to have my head on my body. Like,
yeah, I'm a big fan.
They let us listen to music here. Like, you guys have speakers to play music.
Yeah, we can listen to Travis Scott. Yeah. His amazing lyrics. Speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse, now explain what's going on with this trial. I have very little knowledge.
But the trial just started like not too long ago. I've
seen on my Twitter feed, and I'm not really paying attention. So I'd like you to explain it to me.
The whole thing was waiting for the trial to start. So where it all kind of started was, I don't remember who it was, some famous person posting bond for him.
Was it like Ricky Schroeder or something?
Does sound right. Yeah. And then what I don't know is if he wound up having to go back and stay in jail, or if he had to stay on permanent house arrest, because he was seen while he was out on bail. He was seen at a bar drinking with some Proud Boys, and one, like, you're 18, but I guess you're allowed to drink if your father's there, whatever state they're in. I don't know how the fuck it works.
Yep, I just confirmed it was Ricky Schroeder explains bail for Kyle Rittenhouse. It made me mad.
And so,
shout out Silver Spoons. Shout out Race Car Bed.
If you don't know, like, who this kid is, you're living under a rock. But what he did is he bought some sort of semi-automatic rifle, went out to Kenosha, traveled across state lines to go somewhere he doesn't fucking hang out at, just to go there because they knew that there was going to be a protest and he was going to protect local businesses. And throughout that time, he wound up shooting 3 people, killing 2 of the 3. The third person went on the stand yesterday, I believe. And so what it comes down to is, you know, does he get jail time? Was it self-defense? So on and so forth.
So they're trying to see if they can convict him on murder.
Yeah.
Because he was basically trying to play vigilante and protect local business.
Spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was during the height of the pandemic, like where all the Black Lives Matter rally. Sorry. That's what was happening. Black Lives Matter. And then people were.
That is what it was. I'm pretty sure it had to have been a BLM.
Yeah. And a lot of people were taking advantage of that to just break into stores and looting. It was out of control.
Absolutely.
But we weren't allowed to have small gatherings around Christmas or Thanksgiving, but we were allowed to loot, riot, protest. I don't know. I don't know all the specifics of this trial, but I mean, I'm kind of following it very loosely. So I don't know.
Same. Ultimately, though, like what it comes down to for me is that you didn't go protect a mom and pop shop that like you go to daily. You purposely drove far as fuck away, like wanting to be that vigilante when you could have just stayed out of it.
Yeah,
like, I don't think you, little 17-year-old boy, is going to be the difference maker in a crowd of people. Like,
what is he, the Punisher?
If anything, you incited even more panic, like to an already shitty situation. Like I think I would feel a little differently if it was like a family store that he stood out in front of and people ran up on, you know, like it's just fucking.
If it's your store and you're protecting your well-being and all you saw, and a lot of that was bullshit of them rioting and doing what they were doing. But you had by all means, if it's your store, your business, or even your friend's business, I get it. But if you're out there trying to be Batman or the Punisher, that's a problem. That's not cool.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
Yeah. So in my opinion, he should get jail time, prison time. I don't know how much. That's up to the jury. But I don't know. Dude, you had every opportunity to stay the fuck away because you don't even, like, it wasn't even your neighborhood. It wasn't even your state.
It was one of those situations. Do you remember the Malice in the Palace with the Detroit Pistons?
No.
You remember the big brawl, the NBA brawl?
Oh, yes.
With Ron Artest going into the stands.
Of course.
There's a nice Netflix series on it. But I remember when that happened, and I remember I was on the phone with my old roommate, Trevor Huffman. I go, dude, turn on ESPN right now. I was watching that live. And I watched it and all of it live and all the coverage from it. I go, you know what? Everyone got what they wanted. The NBA players got to beat the shit out of fans. Fans got to punch NBA players. It's almost like that. There's like the racists wanted to be racist and black people wanted to do what they wanted to do. Like everyone got what they wanted in that situation. So I'm not condoning it by any means, but I think everyone took advantage of the Black Lives Matter movement on both sides.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. The interesting thing about this whole trial is just the amount of funding that this kid has, because that like real far right sort of group of people are like he's a hero to them. So they've got plenty of money for defense lawyers and that sort of thing. So it will be interesting to see what comes of it.
Well, it does come down to, me being in legal situations before, it really does come down to like lawyers and all that. I mean, it's just the one thing I learned about the whole legal system. It's such a game and it's such bullshit. It can be manipulated in any direction. I mean, it really can be. It's a game. It's a moneymaker. Well,
it starts with, you're playing a game when you pick the jurors. So that's another thing with this case. I don't know who the jurors are, how many black, how many white. If I had to bet, I'd bet majority white. And then other things, other small rules. Like I think one was like the judge said that the prosecution team was not allowed to refer to the 2 dead people as victims. And certain little rules like that, where it's like, well, that's, the way that you word those things also helps you trick those jurors, and that's part of the game. So if you're not allowing that, then I don't know. I mean, were they victims? Yes and no. They also didn't have to be there that night, you know?
And why is it always has been 80s celebrities, teen idols that are held, like Scott Baio, Ricky Schroeder? Like, why are they the ones that were on the cover of Tiger Beat? Kirk Cameron? It's like
they're leading the charge.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, I got an update. I don't know if we can get a graphic for this. Update on my mailman.
Oh man, yes.
So as you guys know, if you listen to the podcast, I've been having issues with my mailman for over a year. He's right out, but my mailboxes are right outside my condo, and he's loud. He's talkative. He's chatty Cathy. He's just all in your face. And
he's our guest next week on the podcast.
He's going to be on the podcast next week. So sign up to the Patreon. Not going to want to miss this. So I've been talking a lot of shit about this guy, about how he's annoying. I avoid him at all costs. He ruins my days.
I suggested you plant drugs on him to get him arrested.
Yeah. And and then the other day they switched up his schedule, so I couldn't come home. So I was like, because I didn't want to say hello. Well, the other day I come out and I didn't even hear him, and he was standing there, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I'm about to get in a 20-minute conversation, and he looks at me, and I go, hey, what's up? And he goes, hey, and he just turns away. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I mean, it was a noticeable like, hey, fuck you. I've heard what you said about me. So I have a Tim Dillon conspiracy theory going on. I think he puts the mail. He knows our names. Chad Zumock, he knows my address. He might have put me in a Google search, and he might have watched one of my podcasts, and he's like, this motherfucker. I think he saw one of the podcasts of me talking shit on him.
Yeah. Again, though, if he did do that, then he deserves to feel the way that he feels, because that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If
he took the time to Google you and listen to a full, an hour-long podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, so I shouldn't feel bad. I should say you're a fucking creep.
I don't know, because then you're, maybe you're just having maybe his cat died or something, right?
Yeah. Do you think maybe his cat died? He wanted me to go, what's wrong? You okay?
Maybe.
And I just kind of go, all right, well, I took it as an opportunity to get to my fucking car and leave. I was like, okay.
I think it is a little egotistical of you to be like, I guess he's seen my podcast.
Yeah, you're right. That's a little bit of narcissistic behavior. I immediately went to that. What fucking?
I guess he's very familiar.
Well, I guess I am a douchebag. So, I know. That's immediately what I thought. I was like, did he see my podcast? I never even considered maybe he lost a loved one, an animal. Maybe he was getting let go. Maybe they told him tonight was his last shift, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, because some anonymous listeners on a podcast kept calling the post office and leaving bad reports on him.
I want to put it up to the listeners. There's some trolls out there. They're out of control. And in fact, these trolls got my address. And thanks to everyone that's mailing me cheesecake card, gift cards, and all that. It's very nice of you. But I prefer you to stop until I get a PO box.
I was going to say, yeah, you need a PO box, right? And then they'll send whatever.
Yeah, you can send whatever the fuck you want.
You know whose fans are the best are Segura's. That whole Your Mom's House.
Yeah.
You see the shit that they do to what's his face, that country singer?
No, I don't watch.
Oh my God. Garth Brooks. Like they have flooded Garth's Instagram with just like the most bizarre comments, like just, quotes from the show. And like Garth has no fucking idea what's going on. Like it's insane.
It's funny.
Insane.
That's pretty funny. Well, good for Tom. Speaking of douchebags, I'm not referring to Tom. I'm referring to my mailman. No, Tom's fine. Tom's great. Howard Stern recently came out on his show basically saying, I mean, Howard Stern says he would toss Aaron Rodgers out of the NFL for the COVID vaccine controversy. As you know, it's big news. Aaron Rodgers never got vaccinated. He had COVID, so he had the antibodies, and he had his reasonings, and he talked to physicians. If anybody knows their body better than anybody, it's a professional athlete. They talk to trainers, they talk to doctors. So Aaron Rodgers is getting, piled on by the left and the woke mob. And Howard Stern, it's just like, who is this dude? Like, the Howard Stern of the 90s and 80s would be just trashing Howard Stern of 2020, 21.
I was going to say, who the hell has he become?
This dude is night and day of what this guy used to be. And a lot of people say, well, he grew up. He's more mature now. No, I think it's all bullshit. I think Howard Stern has so much garbage out there. If you do a deep dive on Howard Stern, and, listen, I don't give a shit. He was hilarious back in the day. He should be canceled. I mean, hardcore canceled if you really want to play by the canceling rules. So I think
some of the shit back then. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just dropping N-bombs, whatever you want to say. And it was, a different time. It is what it is. But I really do believe he's doing this. Number one, he wants to play in the Hollywood game. He has the Hollywood playbook from Jimmy Kimmel. He wants to go to the Hamptons with George Clooney. He wants to sit at the table with Alec Baldwin and Lauren Michaels. But I think he does this shit on purpose because he doesn't want people to go digging shit up on him. So he goes hardcore. He's against anti-vaxxers and everything else. But I mean, he was going hard on saying he put his teammates in jeopardy. He, he's reckless. They should throw him out of the league. And Terry Bradshaw doubled up on it. So where do you stand on this?
I think that Aaron at the beginning of it all, when he was asked by the media, have you been vaccinated? And his response is, I've been immunized. That was
did he lie?
Just say no. No, he didn't lie. But why? Like, what's the point of playing that game whenever you got Kirk Cousins and all these other athletes? They're like, no, I didn't get it. So
because
just say I didn't get it.
But the media, the hardcore far left wing media, they're not compassionate and they're not reasonable.
No, yeah, and they won't be kind, but still, you're in that boat right now. So it probably would have been easier to deal with back then. Now, the other thing to it, though, is, yeah, you're right. You don't have any obligation to tell them fucking anything, right? So on that note, like, there's someone within the Green Bay locker room who must have, I mean, obviously they knew that he wasn't vaccinated. Like, there's no way that they did not know.
I honestly question if LeBron James is vaccinated. And I'll tell you why, because he was very tight-lipped about that vaccine until the pressure was on. And he said, yeah. And LeBron's such a narcissist that he videotapes everything. He would have a videotape.
He would videotape him doing it.
Of course, it'd be on Instagram stories. So I think a lot of these guys are full of shit. He wants to play in Hollywood. He wants to play the Hollywood game, and they don't want to fucking deal with the fucking media. So I think there's a lot of people, grandstanding and look at me. And I think Aaron Rodgers, I'm not a big fan of his personally, but I think he's getting hosed on this one.
Well, I agree. But the thing, like, I don't think anything's going to come of it. The only thing that happened is he didn't get to play on Sunday, and that's because he has COVID. It's not because he lied. It's just because he has COVID. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week, if he plays on Sunday or not, and go from there. But yeah, I mean, Here's the thing. This one's gonna happen. He should have stopped. He should have shut the fuck up when he was on the Pat McAfee show talking about, like, well, I talked to my friend Joe Rogan. Like, dude, stop. Like,
there's no matter what he
throwing out helplines.
No matter what he would have said, they would have tore it apart. He could have said, I was talking to one of the top specialists in the world. They would have just the media is going to rip them apart regardless because of this whole COVID stance. But here's the facts, people. I'm not a physician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a dude with street smarts and logic and common sense. And here's the statistics. Here's the facts. Not one professional athlete or collegiate athlete has died from COVID-19. Fact. So what's going to happen is Aaron Rodgers, who's in probably the best shape of his life, I don't know if he'll probably feel like shit for like a day, maybe, and then he'll test negative and he'll be back. That's what it is.
Well, from the sounds of it, he took the same ivermectin or whatever the hell and all that same sort of shit that Joe Rogan did.
Horse dewormer.
Horse dewormer. Yeah, people go. It's wild. It's wild because, like, just I don't know why why be totally against that instead of going like, ivermectin, huh? That's another way of treating it.
Let me ask you this, armchair doctor. If you're vaccinated, fully vaccinated, you got the J&J, you got the boosters, why do you even give a fuck if I'm not vaccinated? Why do you what if I have antibodies? Why would you care if you're fully vaccinated if the other person's not vaccinated?
I don't know. I'm too stupid. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Care. I don't care.
These are the questions I have because I'm just thinking illogical. I'm thinking about it like, what's the problem here? Who cares I don't care if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. I don't care. I really don't. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your body. I really do believe it's your body. And this whole, if everyone's vaccinated, it'll go away. No, it won't. You've been saying this. You guys been making up rules. Oh, you remember when we were like almost there? We we're halfway there, and 50%. Yeah. We're gonna break the curve and all this bullshit. You're making up shit as you go.
Of course they are. Well, of course they are.
And pharmaceutical companies are making a shitload of money. If you can't see that going on, then wake up, people. Wake up, white people.
That's Pfizer. I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe like their profit was something like 60%. 60% of their profit was from this coronavirus vaccine. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I mean, of course they're going to push it.
So go get vaccinated, everybody. Save old people. Save your fellow man. Meanwhile, in my life, I know no one,
and I'm still at home. So,
in my life, in my circle of friends and people I know and acquaintances, I know one person who died. He was in his 80s and he was a chain smoker. So I think he would have died from just about anything at that point. But that's just my opinion. I guess I'm white and I'm the devil and I'm a piece of shit. So whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. Go fuck yourselves, everybody. All right. That was Sit Down Zumock podcast with Tyler. Tyler, you have anything you want to plug?
No, but I do just want to say that I think Aaron Rodgers has horrible decision-making when it comes to women. I think he's dated morons. That's it.
I think he's a closet gay guy, but that's just an opinion.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't get me on slander because it's an opinion. It's an opinion piece. He's a public figure. That's where I'm coming from. And I think the women he dates are beards like Danica Patrick and he, but God bless him. God bless everybody. Thank you for listening. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes.
God bless.
And if you're offended by this,
retards,
go fuck yourselves. Good night.